Good morning, everyone, or good day, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Meg from the Casco Bay Branch of the YMCA of Southern Maine, and we are going to be doing a mobility class. So we are working on mobility, meaning we're not just warming up the muscles, but we're also warming up and lubricating the joints as well. So it's not just stretching, because stretching is just stretching the muscle, but it's sometimes compression and activation of those joints that will create mobility. So I want you to just find a mat or whatever surface is comfortable for you. And I just want you to lift your toes and spread your toes. We're going to start getting the muscles and the soft tissue and the joints in our feet warmed up. We have 33 joints in our feet. So sometimes we tend to neglect them, but not today. So I just want you to lift and spread your toes. And yes, our toes sometimes have anxiety. They don't want to stretch. So you can reach down there and manually separate your toes as well. So I want you to lift and separate. Now I just want you to fold your foot so you're elevating the heel up and down. And then go to the other side. You might feel or hear some snap, crackle, and pop. Good. So now we're going to roll the ankle around. We have a lot of neurotransmitters and proprioceptors in our ankles, and roll it to the other side. Roll it around. So put your hands on your hip, and we're going to kind of give a little hula hoop rotation, clockwise and counterclockwise. And let's just take our shoulders. We're going to roll the shoulders back. Always start with going backwards. That opens up the joint of the shoulder. And now we're going to go forward as if we're swimming. And so with this movement, we're going to get a little bit of that rotation in our thoracic mid-back. Opening up the ribs, finding your breath in. Good. Now we're just going to flip the palms forward and flip them back. So we're not just getting the shoulder joint, but our elbows as well. And start moving the wrist here. And now we're going to fan the fingers, sort of like what we did with the toes. Okay, we're going to thumb and fan them. Good. Now I want you to take a deep breath. You're going to reach. The outside blade of the foot is firmly grounded as you reach your pinky away from your pinky. And bring it down, reach to the other side. Reach. So we're not going to hold static stretching, okay? We're going to keep moving through this. This is not just about reaching high, which I do want you to do. Think about reaching towards the sky and grounding your foot down, but you're thinking about in opposition. You're reaching the other hand down. That's going to create that contralateral movement of your fascial tissue. And reach and reach. Good. Stay here. We're going to use our arms as weights and allow your upper body to shift side to side of this spiral rotation. We don't often rotate our spine now, do we? So this kind of helps prep for the day. We should, a little factoid, move our spine 40 times a day in different movements. One of them is this, rotation. And another one is what we just did, lateral flexion. And then extension, which we don't often do, we'll be doing today. And forward flexion, which we do probably too much of. That's when we're leaning forward. And right here, I want you to cross at the wrist. You're going to sit down, profile view here, like you're sitting in a chair, and really reach up, open up like at this goalie post star position. You're going to sink down again, cross at the wrist, reach like it's a morning stretch, and you open up. So we're lengthening the clavicles here. And one more time, inhale. As you inhale, it brings breath into the ribs, opening the ribs. Exhale down. Hold this goalie pose position. And I want you to kind of squeeze those shoulder blades back. Again, now opening up the chest. We're going to find extension here. So ground those toes, pitch the hips forward, open up the heart, lift the eyes, and feel like almost the tissue in the front of your body is draping backwards rather than forcing it by finding extension. That way. You're gonna feel that draping. Exhale, we're just gonna fall slowly all the way down, letting your head hang heavy, like it's a natural traction for your neck. Bend the knees, sitting the tailbone down. Reach your thumbs up, like you're scraping colors in a rainbow here. Pitching the hips forward. Inhale again. Opening up the ribs, finding that goalie post position. Now reach to the sky, bend those knees and fall back down again, letting the head hang heavy. Let's do that again, a little faster. Push into the heels, reach. Goalie post, open. Inhale here, exhale on flexion. Sweep the hands to the back. Push, scrape the color of a rainbow. Inhale back, one more time, exhale. Head hangs, push, lift, goalie post right here. Now hold this goalie post position, and we're going to keep a wide stance to help with balance. And we're just going to step forward. So as you step forward, keeping this goalie post position, I want you to sink down just a little bit. So the spine's not forward, okay? It's back. So your tailbone is centered directly between your legs. Give your pelvis a little rotation forwards, a little tuck as you sink down. Hands down, still open. Now, as you push, both energy is equal in the feet. As you push up, exhale, come down. Goalie post position. Inhale, reach. Feel the foot folding and those toes spreading in the back foot. So the heel lands a little bit here. And then it elevates and helps you rise to the top. Exhale down. One more time, reach up. Sweep the hands down here. Plant the heel down in the back. You feel that nice stretch in the calf, but we're not going to stay there. We want you to lift and lower. It's a good time to take a layer off if you need to. Sometimes just moving the body, you get warm. Start heating things up because you start getting the blood flowing, the capillaries going to the muscles so they can work a little bit better. Now I want you to keep your heel down, straighten the front foot or the front knee. We're going to pivot at the hip. As you pivot at the hip, hand is going to go on your thigh. We create a little bit of rotation here as you still experience the stretch in the hamstrings, the back of the leg. Reach the hand down as if it's heavy. Now I want you to pull it up towards your rib. So you have a slight rotation, but eyes are still down to the ground. So reach and pull. Dig those toes in, they help with your balance. Reach and pull, slight rotation. You got two more. Last one, hold it up here and spin your heart even more if you can, and then reach. So this is like a modified triangle pose in yoga. Take a nice inhale, reach north to south. Exhale down, bend the front knee. You're gonna lift and pivot forward. Take a deep breath here. Exhale down. We're gonna stay here with our toes angled out in this plie position. And I just want you to drop a shoulder. But the eyes are going to stay forward. And the hips aren't going to shift. Everything stays centered. The only thing you're dropping is your shoulder. So we're getting some nice rotation again to thoracic twist. Opening up the spine, opening up the ribs in the back. We don't often do that. And hold center. We're going to lift and pivot, lift and pivot. So now we're at the other side. So as you turn those toes down, you're going to lift and lower and micro adjust your stance however you need to. If it's too far, you know, just kind of inchworm your feet into the appropriate distance. Feel that stretch in the back, in the toes, in the calf. Hold it down here. It feels so good, doesn't it? Straighten up the front leg. Hinge just at the hip. Hand on the thigh, and you're gonna let your hand be heavy, and then pull it up towards your rib. Once again on this side, experiencing a little rotation, just a small rotation to start. Reach and rotate, reach and rotate. Keep your breath in. That helps open up the ribs, create space between them. They get kind of sticky sometimes. We don't realize it. And this one, hold up here. Inhale, and then reach into your modified triangle. Exhale, come down. Bend the knee. Sweep up. Oh, you thought we forgot about this, right? Goalie post position. You don't have to do everything in order as long as you get it done. Goalie post, sink down, a little rotation of the pelvis. Inhale up and sink down. Also feeling the stretch of the toes once again in the back. Keep your breath going. Now fan the hands down here and pivot once again forward so you're in this plie position. Now we're just going to rock side to side. So getting a little bit in the groin, in the inner thighs, side to side. Okay, now we're going to toe heel in. Toe heel in. And I want you to find a crouch position. So what a crouch is, hinging at the hip, knees are forward, hand on the thigh, and you're going to rotate like what we practice, finding your way to the mat. Walking your hands out. And so we're going to stand or sit in this bird dog position, what we call the quadruped position here, where your shoulders are lined up over your wrist, hips over your knees, okay? So all we're going to do is we're just going to sit back and forward. Sit back and forward. We're going to add on to this. In fact, we're going to embellish it quite a bit. Just wait. Now we're going to sit to the side. Sit to the side as if you're sitting on one heel. Slide to the other side and come forward. So you're moving your hips again in a clockwise position. Just the hips. Make sure your fingers are spread. That helps with the opening of fascia. And now we're going to reverse the position. Reverse your circle counterclockwise. And hold it center. So we're going to walk our hands out. They're farther away from the shoulders. Be careful here. Make them a little wider. So your middle finger should be aiming towards the corner of your mat. And we're going to flip the eyes of the elbows forward. So in other words, you're taking the creases and you're turning them. And taking your heart between the frame of your arms, letting your hips fall down. Gravity is your friend here, creating a natural extension. Okay, try not to sink in the shoulders. Push the mat away. Chin up, eyes up. Pull the belly in as you sit back with the tailbone. Reaching away, feeling the belly of your arms stretch as well. Take an inhale. Exhale forward. So we're going to play around with the breath here as well, not just to open up the lungs and the ribs, but the spine. So typically you would inhale on rotation because it opens up the vertebrae, and exhale on flexion. So we were exhaling here on extension, inhaling back. Now we're going to reverse that. So exhale for nothing. Now inhale coming forward. Exhale back. Really feel that stretch. Remember, it's opposition, so your tailbone's away from your fingers. And roll it forward. Next one, we're going to stay back. We're going to walk it back. So we're back in that quadruped position. This time, we're going to roll the upper body side to side. So you're feeling some compression in the shoulders and the wrists. That's okay. We need to add that strength in the joints. It's a gentle way to do this. So you're just moving the upper body. I want you to kind of pop the ribs up to the side. And then pop them to the other side. Rotate around. And now let's reverse it. And hold here. Now remember we did the hips We just did the upper body. We're going to include everything together, full embodiment of the embellishment. We're going to roll around with the ribs, the shoulders, and take those hips, sit them back, sit bone to sit bone, reach the ribs out, circle it around to the other side. So you're finding the full expression of the circle of your whole body, making it as big and exaggerated as you can. Clockwise, one more time, please. And then counterclockwise. Almost feel like you're dancing without moving your limbs, right? Just moving your center. And hold here. And I want you to drop your head, pull the ribs in, tuck the tailbone. Untuck the tailbone, drop the ribs, lift the eyes. So maybe without my shirt, we'll be able to see better. So what we're going to do is really try to compartmentalize the spine, the 3 different sections of the spine. So you've got your cervical, and I want you to drop it down. Your thoracic, your mid-back, pull those ribs up in a cat position. You're going to curl the tailbone under. Uncurl the tailbone, drop the ribs, lift the eyes. Drop the head, pull the ribs, curl the lower back. So that's your lumbar, uncurl it, thoracic, cervical. You keep going with this until you can find one fluid motion. Exhale on flexion, inhale on extension. We'll do it again. And hold neutral here, someplace neutral. Okay? We're going to take our knees together. We're going to sit on the side, separating your legs, finding this, I like to call it the mermaid position, as if you're like a little mermaid sitting on a rock. Okay? You're going to reach your hands out, following your elbow, spreading those fingers, reaching again. Feeling the whole side body stretch. Now the hip kind of wants to go with you for the ride. Reach the hip down and away. Rather than always reaching the arm, reach the hip. Inhale here. Exhale, come up. Do that again, one more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come up. Now we're going to walk our hand behind us. And we're going to lift the hips, pitch them forward, and reach again. Now your spine is dictated by your eye gaze, so take a look back. You find some extension in your thoracic that way. Just a wee bit. Exhale, hand comes down, sit those sit bones down. Manually adjust your legs to find mermaid on the other side. Walking your hands out, little spider tip fingers falling onto the elbow and reach. Just feel the stretch first. And then notice if your hips are being pulled with that fascia. Pull and draw them away. Inhale. Exhale, come up. Inhale on extension, falling back onto the elbow. Exhale here, walk the hands to the back and lift up. So you're going to feel that stretch also in your quads. Inhale, reach, eyes up, little teeny bitty extension. Exhale down. Now from here, something a little fun. We're going to walk our hands to the side, straighten out the leg, we'll curl the toes and transition into this pigeon pose. So do what you can here. We're going to open up the leg in a little windshield wiper position, but use the feet in the back, the toes in the back, inchworm back, so you feel comfortable enough to sit down in the stretch, feeling the glutes. We're not going to stay here stagnant. Move and rock side to side. Now inchworm up. Windshield wiper the leg. We're going to step in. Reach the other leg out. Slide the leg between the frame of your arms. Flip the foot to the side if you can. If it's too much on your knee, then have it directly underneath you. And we inchworm the foot in the back so you can sit down to where we're comfortable and rock side to side. And come on up here. Slide the leg underneath. And now we're going to walk our knees to the edge, sit down again, and find your way to your back, rolling all the way down. So your legs will be bent, one leg will be up, and I want you to hold behind your hamstring, not your knee, and we're going to bend and straighten here. Just feeling a dynamic stretch of the hamstring, bend and straighten. And let's switch sides. It's a gentle way to start stretching the hamstrings. Sometimes you can pull them too much because they get tight pretty quickly. So from here, we're going to lengthen both legs out, and we're going to lift up one leg again. Okay? From here, I want you to hold on to your inner thigh as we take it across the midline. Now flex the foot, and you're going to turn the blade of your foot up towards the ceiling. Feeling a stretch in the outside of your shin. It's your peroneal muscle. Relax the foot, bring it back to center. And now you're going to hold your leg, assist it on the outside, and let it fall to the outside. Not only do you feel the inner thigh stretch, but the contralateral position in the opposite hip flexor. And manually bring it in. Feel some core work with that as well. And lift up the other leg. Cross it over the midline. Hold on to that inner thigh, flex it, and then turn the foot as if you're trying to lift your arch. A nice inhale. Release the foot, bring it back to center. Let it fall to the other side. And use the belly to pull it in. And bend down. So we're going to just hold one knee. We're going to stir it around. These are knee stirs. It's a gentle way to warm up the hips and your joints. It's a great thing to do before you get out of bed in the morning. So we're just going to do a couple stirs one way, a couple stirs the other way. And switch legs. And roll it around couple times, as if you're creating like this little stirring action in the hips. And from here, let's cross one leg over the other. If you're sitting cross-legged, open up the hands in T position and let the weight of the leg push the other leg down. Slight twist in the low back here. You're going to feel it in the side of your glutes. Take a nice inhale. Slowly untwist the spine. You always want to go slow with the spine. Cross over to the other side. Drop it down. And slowly bring it back in. So from here, hands on the thighs. You can use an elbow. Make your way up from here. We're going to go back onto our knees again. Walk the knees out this time, okay? Keeping the eyes of the elbows again forward so your elbows stay tucked by your ribs, coming all the way down, and reach one leg up. Now don't pull the leg. You can hold onto your heel, embrace your full foot, or you could even use a fabric on your pants. And what I want you to do to get that quad stretch is tuck your tailbone again. Feel the tucking. You can inhale, gaze it down towards the mat to lengthen the crown of your head. Drop that leg down and lift up the other side. A little tuck of the pelvis. Inhale. And let's repeat that. Maybe instead of counting, you want to use breaths. Inhale here. Exhale down. Now curl the toes. Lift the heart. So we're finding a little bit of extension. So it's not so much in the low back. So you want to keep that tucking. Shoulders are down. Remember the ears and the shoulders, they don't talk together. They're not friends. Lift the heart, lift the eyes, so you're feeling extension just in the upper back. Of course, we'll go a little in the low back, but you don't want to just bend in the low back. You're going to try to lift your body up as one piece, and then lift your heart as much as you can. Inhale, squeezing those butt cheeks. Exhale, come down. Inhale one more time. And exhale. So when you do extension work, you want to couple it with a little bit of extension. So let's find our way up and sit back again. This is more like a shell position rather than a full child's pose. Inhale forward, walk your hands up. And so what we're going to do, we're going to rotate the body. We're almost done here, like we're running. We're running without legs. Okay, so we're getting some rotation. Try not to be flex forward. If anything, when you rotate, you want a little bit of extension. And I want you to find the leg that's going to swing forward. So get ready, start moving those hips. If we're getting ready to run, and bring your foot forward. There it is, nice. Now we're going to walk the foot forward, shift forward. If this is too much on your knee, you know, just get a pillow, yoga block, or blanket. Just going to shift forward and shift back. Now we're going to sweep the hands up. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And now use the cord. Pull that leg in. And we do this again. Start moving those hips. Other leg. Shift it forward. Walk it forward. And slide forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. And walk the leg in. We're going to stay in this position and get up the same way we went down. So level out your body. Foot is folded in the back. Hand on the thigh. For if we go forward, we're never going to be able to come up. It's going to be very, very difficult. I want your body to be in alignment. So gravity is your friend here as we stay centered with it. Okay, push off as much energy in the back as you are in the front. And push up. Good. Step in. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale out. Now really reach this. Bring your breath to the back. Inhale. Open up. Find extension. Open the fingers. Open the eyes. Exhale. And you're done. Thanks for joining me.